It was a weekend full of championships on the campus of North Cenrtal College as the men's basketball team runs away with the CCIW tournament, while right next door, the men's track and field team dominated the indoor conference meet. The Cardinal Report recaps the exciting week in sports, starting now. Welcome to the Cardinal Report. I'm Marc Dahlquist. Joining me to start things off this week is men's indoor track and field coach, Frank Gramarosso. Coach, thanks so much for coming by.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark.
So as expected, the Cardinals come away with their 12th straight CCIW title, running away from the competition on Saturday.
Yeah, it was great. That's our first team goal, is to win the conference championship, both indoor and out. And, you know, I've been there for every one of them, so it's been fun.
And Dan Benton comes away with the Athlete of the Meet honors in what is his final track and field season, essentially.
Yes, it is. I overlooked the relay, too. The computer prints out who scored the most points, but they forgot about the relays. You know, he scored technically 2.5 points being part of a 10-point relay team. And that kind of threw me for a loop. I was pushing to get Zach Hirspink, who won 2 individual events, as the field athlete of the meet, but other coaches didn't see it that way. So I was happy for Dan.
Yes, Hirspink comes away with his 3rd straight high jump title?
Yes, yeah.
That's got to be impressive, you know, to come away with 3 championships in a row.
Yeah, it's great for him. And, you know, he missed the national meet as a freshman because he hit a mark, but they only took so many, and then last year he was an All-American. The high jump's really tough. I think he's safe getting in, but he's a few centimeters short of some of the top leaders. But he's got another meet Friday, and we're pretty sure he's going next week. He's in that top 13, and we'll see what he can do at Nationals.
Well, the Cardinal Report was there on Saturday to see the Cardinals take home another title. Let's go to the highlight. Teams from across the CCIW packed the LB Carious track last Friday and Saturday as Deontay Hackler and the Cardinals looking for their 12th straight conference title. We start in the 200-meter dash, and this is Hackler in lane 4. Teammate Dan Benton is on the outside in lane 6, while Alex Rendon of Augustana is setting the pace in lane 5. As they come out of the final turn, Hackler and Benton are stride for stride, but they wouldn't be able to catch Rendon. Benton would finish second in 22.11 seconds, and Hackler crossed in third in a time of 22.19. To the 60-meter dash we go. Josh Mitchell had the 3rd fastest time in the prelims. He'll take 7th in the finals with a time of 7.18 and add to the Cardinal point total. The field athletes added plenty of points to that total during the meet. In the high jump, Andrew Carlson and Zach Hirspink both cleared 6 feet 6 1/4 inch, but Hirspink would take the top spot thanks to fewer misses. Back on the track in the 400-meter dash, this time Hackler and Benton are joined by teammate Baikaba. Heading into the final lap around the track, Hackler holds a slight lead over his teammates, but Benton is starting to make a late push. Benton would win the race with a time of 48.69 seconds, tying a meet record. Hackler and Kaba would finish 2nd and 4th overall. The Cardinals bring home their 12th straight title, winning big as a team with 261 points. Coach, Dan Benton wasn't the only way coming away with the award. Congratulations to you and your staff on getting the Coaches of the Conference Year award. How much does it mean to you and your individual coaches to get that?
Well, it's great. I'm glad to see it goes to the coaching staff, because you can't do it alone. And we have a great coaching staff, and I think we're one of the only conferences that honor the whole staff. You read other conferences that the head coach is the coach of the year, and other sports too. But I like it that we're the coaching staff of the year, because I think I've said before, every coach, every assistant coach is like the head coach of their area, and I help get them whatever they need to, you know, do the best they can working with their athletes. So I'm really proud for them and all of us coaches to be named the coaching staff of the year.
Yeah, you're almost like the CEO, but you got a lot of managers working for you. How important are those individual coaches to the athlete's success?
Oh, they're great importance. They're doing it for the love of it. We have volunteers. We have GAs who get tuition to be a graduate assistant, but the part-time assistant coaches who have other jobs or they're retired, they put in a lot of time and a lot of energy, for very little pay. And so the reward is what they see how their athletes improve and how they work, because that's our first goal is, we take the cross-country motto, run for fun and personal best, and in track we say run, jump, and throw for personal best. So, whether you score in the conference meet or not, there were probably 40 athletes on our team that didn't get a chance to participate, but week after week in the meets that they can compete in, we're looking for them to improve just like all the other top guys.
You might have to add run, jump, and vault for personal best to that, because it seems like the pole vaulters, it's like a dynasty in itself with this team. It is.
The last few years we've been blessed with, great athletes coming into the program, and jumping is a part of vaulting, but you're right, it's its own event, and week after week when we publish the points that each event scored, they're always up there at the top, and we have 3 for sure. We're ranked 1st, 2nd, and 4th on the national list before this weekend, and we have another guy who's dangling in there tied, but he's only been in 2 meets. He's been injured, Frank Gramarosso. He's tied for the 15-11, but tomorrow he's going to have to jump a few inches higher to secure his spot. So he's on the bubble, but it'd be great to have 4 pole vaulters again.
And that makes it 11 straight years where the Cardinals have come away with the conference champion in the pole vault. How much are these guys looking to have success in the national meet?
I think great success. Again, paper's paper, but certainly when you jump Winder was leading the country for a while, and then Wood just broke the conference record by a centimeter, and now he's leading the country. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say pressure, but they're looking at the challenge it is for them to be as good as they are. And Winder took the weekend off. He had a little strain that he's resting up a little bit, but they're pumped, they're fired, and anything can happen. We've had leading athletes, no height, and it's another meet. And if we approach it that way, that it's another opportunity, another meet, and you treat it like another meet, you don't say, well, it's nationals, I got to try harder. Just do what you've been doing all week long, all season long, and you're going to be successful.
And on the track, you guys were successful as well in a number of events. It seems like the 400-meter guys are really hitting their stride. You guys go 1-2 in that event and then win the 4x4 as well.
Yeah, that was, we've had a number of different combinations. We're hoping to keep our top 316 team solid going into nationals, but we've run some 318s with 2 other guys. This week, J.R. Kaba has given up a chance to go in the open 400 to try to help the distance medley relay qualify. So he's on the bubble right now. He's 13th, but he's given up an individual shot to try to help 3 other athletes and another relay team qualify for nationals. So he's a great team guy.
What does that say about? I mean, the fact that he's giving up an individual spot in nationals to get more guys down there as a team, is that sort of the mentality you try and give your athletes?
They have to come with that.
Okay.
You try to instill that, but very few sometimes, really get that message. And he does. He's a team player. He's a team player in the football team and team player in track and field. And, again, he's at the bottom of the list, but if he stays there, then he'll be in the national meet in the 4x4 and the 400 if he wants to declare. We can certainly say, you know what, our chances may be better fresh in a 4x4 and give up that 13th spot, and then it would go to the next guy. But he's trying to get 3 other guys in a national meet, and that was his focus this weekend.
And that's something you don't hear a lot, being team-oriented when it comes to track and field. It seems like it's such an individual sport, but your guys are really looking out for each other and trying to get everybody to do the best they can.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting, it's listed as an individual sport for the NCAA, but yet there's a team championship that goes along with it, and, we want it's a bunch of little individual teams, events that come together and make one. And, we try to say, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me, and it all will come out in the end. And that's what we really want our athletes to believe in and do the best they can in their event, and then we bring everybody together like the conference championships and score in every event.
Right. And we keep talking about these qualifying times. I mean, a couple of athletes are going to have their chance this weekend at a few different meets. But how is it different this year than it's been in years past for the national meet to qualify?
Well, this year we found out in the late summer and early fall that there was no more qualifying standard to hit. No provisional and no automatic. They've decided to use a descending order list, which we've already had, and just at the end of the season take the top 13. So it was kind of an eye-opener for a lot of coaches. We weren't happy when we went to the convention and discussed it, but NCAA Rules Committee and the NCAA Championships Committee, they make the decisions, and it's not the only one. You learn to live with those decisions. It's a shocker at first, but you know, this tiebreaker and some of that stuff has to be worked out. But you know, basically, pretty much the field used to be a minimum field of 11. So we're adding 2 more. We're getting 13. We'll see how it works out on Sunday when the field is declared.
And everybody's got to play by the same rules, too.
That's
so
right.
It's not like it's just you guys. But the Cardinals have been atop the nation all year almost, it seems, in the rankings. But now all of a sudden they slip a little bit. Is the team worried about that?
I don't think they're worried about that. If we go to nationals with the performers and the performances that we have and perform, if somebody else beats us, they beat us. You know, if they have more firepower, I think lacrosse right now has qualifiers in 8 events. We only have qualifiers in 3 events, but we're still very close when you try to look at based on performances so far. But then when you go to the national meet, you know, you take all those performances, and now it's head-to-head competition, and we'll see how that happens and how it plays out. Oshkosh has moved up a little bit too. I think they're in 4 events. Like we're strong in the pole vault, I think they have 4 guys in the shot put, so they're strong in their events too. So it's starting to fill up really quick. And then you don't know if there's an obscure team that has, like last year, Central College went 1-2 in the pentathlon and high jump and the long jump with the same 4 guys and 1 thrower, and they were second. So you never know what's going to happen.
Well, Coach, we look forward to watching you guys in the coming weeks and prepare for nationals.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, because coming up after the break, we'll catch up with the men's wrestling team as they start preparing for the national meet.